Curveball, looks like we got ourselves another teaser from Creative Assembly, and this honestly looks to be the actual last teaser. And the reason I say this is because it concludes by saying, pretty much saying something wicked this way comes tomorrow. So I believe this is our final one, but if our last 4 confirmed Chaos Demons for us, I think this one just confirmed KISLEV to be added into Warhammer 3 and a trailer for Warhammer 3. Those are my big speculations and assumptions. So what we're going to do today, it's just kind of obvious, right? We're going to look at the minute 20, minute 30 long clip this time. We're going to dissect what happens with the star sign because it's a little bit unique. It's different this time around. And after that, we'll just kind of ramble for about 8 minutes, like I said before, to make it so that YouTube actually pushes this out. So let's jump on into the actual clip itself. Everything kind of starts as normal, though. Back at the astrolabe. Swinging on in here, we see that Astromancer. We see the mysterious stranger yet again. Things haven't changed with him. We also get that weird little globe, and we get the Astromancer talking about, his resolve. It's pretty wasted. It's pretty low at this point, and he even kind of says, the heavens is what took my resolve. Perhaps I shall look at it again to see if it restores it. And we get something that starts to kind of peer through the azyr here, and it's unique in that it is. He even says, "Oh man, it's the sign of." Wait for it. Wait a little bit longer.
Do we find salvation in the jaws of the god bear himself?
Boom! The god bear himself, Ursun. Now, this is unique because this obviously hints heavily towards KISLEV. KISLEV is the only thing that Ursun would really have to do much, hinting towards. But this is also on the eve of Geheimnisnacht. So this is going to be some pretty wild stuff is going to happen, right? This is when all the bad and crazy stuff happens in the Warhammer world, and we know something crazy comes tomorrow. Looking back at our star signs in the Warhammer RPG, we don't actually have a star sign for Ursun. That is a huge change here, right? Everything else up to this point was a kind of veiled hint towards what we now, I think, all kind of collectively agree is Chaos Demons and all 4 of the Chaos Gods. But there are other things that maybe you would have supposed were KISLEV if you wanted to look at these individual star signs. But not a single one of these is the bear or Ursun. Ursun, though we know, is the god, or I guess you could say one of the prime gods of the KISLEV pantheon, or I guess maybe the Empire pantheon, and the one that KISLEV worships the most. It's kind of hard for me to articulate that because I'm a dumb person, but also because I think this is exciting because we finally get that first full hint of KISLEV being in here. The only other thing that we've had as far as any way, shape, or form a true hint towards KISLEV possibly coming in Game 3 was that the Old World, Warhammer the Old World, Games Workshop's endeavor to kind of bring back old fantasy in a Horus Heresy style Forge World narrative campaign is their revival in Warhammer the Old World, bringing KISLEV into that with new art, new styles, what looks to be new models. So if we're using that as a kind of correlation to Total War Warhammer 3, in quotes there, then it kind of stands the test here to say that KISLEV is a possible addition now in Game 3, especially with this Ursun sign. Like, that is so huge. It doesn't necessarily mean that we'll maybe be playing as Boris or as Tsarina Katarina. I mean, either one of them. We see Katarina in the Total War Warhammer campaign as just a kind of generic individual that leads the nation, but it's hard to say which one of these is going to be the quote-unquote legendary lord that leads the faction. If they'll both be in, will we get 2? Will we get 4 lords? How many lords are we going to get in Total War Warhammer 3, especially if we're looking at all 4 of the individual chaos gods? Are we talking about them as monogod factions, as one collective faction? Then if they are monogods, are they going to get 1 mortal and 1 demon lord as an option? There are so many things to speculate in the coming days, and I think that hopefully tomorrow, when we get that supposed, or at least hopeful, drop for a trailer and not just another teaser, we'll find out more. We'll find out how these factions split up. And I think that just looking at this now, if we kind of put everything down, and unfortunately there's nothing really cool to take a look at in this area, we have got all 4 of the Chaos Gods, right? We've got, in that order of Khorne, Slaanesh, or I'm sorry, Tzeentch, Slaanesh, and Nurgle. And now finally this 5th one with Ursun. That brings 5, I guess 1 race, and then 4 other distinctions of another race, 4 factions, I guess you could say. And then that begs the question here, what other races would we see in Warhammer 3? And I think the 2 biggest front runners that I've personally proposed have been Ogre Kingdoms and Chaos Dwarfs. And Ogre Kingdoms, I guess you could argue, are that kind of middle ground between a good and a bad faction, since they do a lot of mercenary work. They have allied themselves with the Empire plenty of times to fight with things, Telia and Astalia as well. And Chaos Dwarfs stand as the other end of that spectrum of the quote-unquote evil factions. 2 good factions, or I guess 1 good, 1 neutral, and 2 evil factions with KISLEV, Ogre Kingdoms, Chaos Dwarfs, and Chaos Demons. So a lot of really exciting news coming from all 4 of these big teasers. And hopefully tomorrow, like I said, we'll also get a full Steam page rollout and the FAQ launch on the actual Total War forum. So we'll be able to, Total War blog, to find out more about what is coming here. And like I talked about in my last video, I'm sure that they will break up all this stuff across the coming months to talk about in depth. Just like they did for Warhammer 2's marketing launch cycle, where they basically used the each month to showcase a specific race, doing those roster reveals and everything like that. I think that was like probably one of the most exciting things about Warhammer 2 was watching those roster reveals, drumming up what they were, and then like sharing them on the Reddit and getting that huge conversation going. It was a really exciting time. So it'll be very awesome to kind of go back to that level of excitement, that level of hype, and that level of speculation, right? We did a lot of speculation about some of the things about these individual races, which if you are looking for having that stuff on the channel again, it will now be a huge centerpiece, especially if we get that trailer tomorrow. I've pretty much been waiting for a Warhammer 3 announcement to start rolling out stuff like Chaos Dwarf, Ogre Kingdom, Chaos Demons, Cathay, Nippon, and those kind of speculation videos, because they don't really stand much before a Warhammer 3 announcement. I think they're a little bit more valuable after a Warhammer 3 announcement. So we'll be able to dive into plenty of those guys. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this was KISLEV confirmed? In my opinion, yes. I think that was 100% KISLEV. And I think that at least puts 5 total things on the docket for Warhammer 3, and we'll find out hopefully tomorrow what's coming. And do you think a trailer is coming, or do you think another teaser is coming? It's weird that we got a Friday teaser followed by a Thursday drop of the trailer, but I guess that kind of makes some sort of sense. So go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, all that fun action. But as always, have a good one and take care.